this video, I brought Trotsky back as Mexico. Could I liberate the homeland and bring the true revolution back? Watch the video to see. Mexico. Today, we're going to be playing as Mexico and bring the true revolution back to the Soviet Union. So with that, let's hop right on in. Iron Man mode on, historical AI on. Let's get going. Alright, here we are in Mexico. We have 21 divisions. That's a pretty decently sized army until you really look at the inner workings of it. I'm just going to get started right away on building some mills around Mexico City and this whole area here. We have these military issues here where we can get into a civil war quite easily from 3 different ways. That's awesome. And also we can regulate some church power, so we can either weaken the church or strengthen the church depending on what we want to do. So the first thing I would like to take care of is this rebellion. So we are going to do the plan of Agua Prieta. We're going to exile this guy, pierce the bureaucracy, and then arrest the general. Of course, our national spirits are not very good to start off with as Mexico. Spanish Civil War is kicked off, and this actually means good things for us in the future. And I'll show you why shortly. There we go, we've arrested General Cedillo, so we don't have to worry about him any longer. So before I start industrializing, and this pains me to do because I love building up a big industry, we're going to head down our political tree. We need some daily communism support, and I'd like to head down to this decision here, and this is what I was talking about. We can get this decision to support the Spanish left, and these decisions will give us a ton of Army XP or Navy XP, and you'll see. So let's head down. Legacy of Revolution. The man of the hour, Trotsky, has arrived. Obviously, you know, you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. We can do one of 3 things with him. We can just give him asylum and let him reside in our beautiful country. We can just toss him back to Stalin and let him deal with him, or we can invite him to join our government, which is exactly what we're going to do. So Trotsky, welcome to the Mexican government. He actually becomes a chief of army with us as well, so there we go. And we can hire him right away for 75 political power. He gives us 0.10 communism support a day and 0.4 army XP a day, which is very good. Look at his little portrait there, but don't worry, Trotsky, you will have a big portrait in no time. When I completed this focus, I can send volunteer forces, so let's go ahead and send Manuel here over to Republican Spain. So here's our 2 beautiful Mexican divisions. And of course, we arrived just in time for a anarchist uprising, so that's fun. Alright, and then, like I said, with this focus, which we will do now, we can support the Spanish left. Now watch this as well. With this focus, we get 10% communist support, so now we are over 40, and we can flip communist through our focus with communist revolution. And this is how we get Trotsky in charge, so yes, let's flip communist right now. And like I said, with these military issues, we can support the Spanish left. So when we select this focus, we lose 3 convoys and 250 guns. And there are 2 options that can happen after 7 days. We have a 60% chance of getting 20 Army XP and we get our convoys back, or a 40% chance of getting 25 Navy XP and we do lose the convoys. But that's alright, we will support the Spanish left, and you'll see why very quickly we can grab a ton of Army XP. There, the first one has been a loss. So we did grab 25 Naval XP just like that. So every time this pops up, I'm going to take this decision. And I implore you, if you want to play this path or play Mexico in a similar fashion, to do this as well. There we go. So as you can see, our Army XP just went up after that one. And of course, since we're fighting in Spain, we obviously can take the Spanish gold reserve. So yeah, there we go. Communist revolution focus done. And we have a new flag and a new leader. Trotsky is in charge, as well as he is still the chief of army. Alright, so with this done, we can grab 3 civs from this focus here, revolutionary women, which I'll do because we need some civs. So it seems Uncle Sam is not a huge fan at us becoming communist. They are attempting to isolate us. We are a peaceful communist nation down here in Mexico, and these arrogant imperialists are trying to ruin our revolution. Alright, and with this focus done, let's head down the National Bank, and then we're going to head down a few of these focuses and get some industry built up. Remember how I was telling you how good these Spanish left decisions are? Well, yeah. November 37, and we have 500 Army XP. Well, 499.98 to be exact. So let's get some doctrines going. Today I want to go down superior firepower. And with rural schools done, we finally have a 3rd research slot, which is much needed. Trust me, we are lagging behind. It looks like the Republicans aren't doing too hot, so again, I'm still spamming these Spanish left decisions. It doesn't look like the Civil War is going to last too much longer, though. I'm not asking you for a month. Can you give me one more decision? And our forces survived there in the end, but the nationalists have won. So yeah, like I was saying, it is now August of 1938. Look at how far we have in our naval doctrine. You might be thinking, yeah, that's okay, I guess. Look at how far we've gotten in our land doctrine. I got super lucky with the amount of army XP I got, and we are one doctrine away from finishing the superior firepower doctrine already. We have an oil worker strike in our country, so we can lose 150 political power, or we can lose 5% stability. I think this exploitation is unethical and must end. This is not capitalism. We don't want capitalism. It's finally about time we create the Bolivarian Alliance. And all of these countries in South America here and in Latin America gain Hispanic diplomacy, which gives them an opinion boost of us, and also we stir communist sentiment in them. Oh yeah, and let's do our final army doctrine as well. Shock and awe. Unlock that, and we have now completed our doctrine, and it is not 1939 yet. Now, one thing we should do is create an intelligence agency. So we'll create the Trotsky Defense Force, because that's exactly what we're going to need to do. The Soviets will still try to assassinate our beloved leader, so we will need to set up some anti-espionage activities in our own country. There we go. The Bolivarian Alliance has been founded by us. We now have our own faction. With the Bolivarian Alliance, it unlocks a ton of decisions for Hispanic solidarity, where we can invite all of these nations to our alliance. So here's the big focus, march southwards, where we'll get war goals on Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. So of course I've lined up the Mexican army on the border. There we go, this focus is done. We'll head right on to unify Central America, then we'll integrate them once we control all this land. But first off is Guatemala, so we'll declare this war. And we'll declare on Honduras and catch them a bit off guard. There, we've taken out Guatemala, one down, and we'll also declare on El Salvador while we're at it. There we go, this focus is done. We can get some more nations. So we'll integrate the south now. There goes Honduras and El Salvador. Now it is time for Nicaragua and Costa Rica. There they go. So some very quick conquests down here in Central America. We do have a goal on Panama. However, we need to naval invade Panama. We can't get over there across the Panama Canal. And we don't have the naval invasion tech, so we'll have to wait just a bit for that one. There we go, with this focus done, we can now integrate all of these lands which we have conquered for just 50 political power each. They have all been developed by the base focus tree, but we'll just go ahead and integrate Guatemala first. So now that we've fully upgraded our passive defense, and we have Christina here on counterintelligence, hopefully no ice picks will get past customs or Soviet spies either. Finland has rejected Soviet demands, they're in on Finland, and we now have the transport ship researched. Let's go for Cuba first. Let's declare on Cuba and just pray that they don't join the Allies and launch our naval invasions. There we go. With a sneaky naval invasion behind their lines, we have capitulated Cuba and taken all of this beautiful chromium for ourselves. And now, since we control Cuba, we can integrate the Caribbean. And now we're rolling the dice again. Hopefully they don't join the Allies. Let's declare this war and launch the invasions. There we go. We got Haiti. We'll roll the dice one more time. Please don't join the Allies. Thankfully, they did not, and we have taken out Panama. There, I think we're pretty much done our Central America conquest for now. At least, direct declarations of war. We will do liberate the Antilles, and we'll also declare war on the Dominican Republic. And there they go. They've capitulated. And we can integrate them. So there, we now have all of these lands conquered. I like how our automotive manufacturer is Mexican forward. I don't know, that just sounds very funny to me. And there, we now have all of these lands integrated into us, and we have 85 factories, and 1 million manpower pretty much. I mean, our army is still quite small, but... Well, let's see what these guys say to our liberation. And yeah, Free France has backed off. The Netherlands have refused, the US has refused, and the UK has refused. That's fine, we aren't going to declare any of these wars, we are not stupid. What kind of communist government is this? We have elections? No. Ridiculous. Trotsky will serve a second term, we'll take the stability hit. The Chilean Socialist Republic seeks to join our alliance. Yes, they have flipped communist, and yes, of course. Welcome to the revolution, brothers. Nice, and we just got 16 new troops deployed. This is the start of a grand Red Army, a new Red Army, a better Red Army. Let's finally do anti-disestablishmentarianism. Well, let's invite Brazil and see what they say. Yes, they've joined. They've accepted the invitation. And Bolivia, it appears, has flipped to communist. Yes, they have. And yes, welcome in. And Ecuador, welcome in. Yeah, I figured this was gonna happen. I was thinking about inviting Peru because I knew they would get mad at Ecuador. And they have. They've declared on Ecuador. Brazil and Chile will be called, as well as Bolivia, so Peru will be surrounded. Well, we have signed a white peace, and Ecuador has control of this state now. That is perfect timing because we need to get ready to take out the Soviets. It is now the perfect time to smash the bureaucrats. Our alliance will be known as the Fourth Internationale, and we will gain a puppet war goal against the Soviet Union. Well, yes, the Germans have declared on the Soviet Union. They're going to grab a lot of war score. We don't want that. But what we do want is to also be at war with the Soviets, grab military access from the Germans, and invade them through the German lands, because, let me tell you, I am not invading Siberia, no sir. I'm improving relations with everyone to invite them to our faction before this war starts, so we've got Peru now. We've set our differences aside, and they are welcome into the Bolivarian alliance. There we go. Completed this focus. Let's declare war on the Soviet Union. And yes, we can grab military access from the Germans, and we'll get all 96 of our divisions over here on the main front. And thankfully, we have captured a Soviet operative. And look, it's beautiful. The great Mexican migration across the Atlantic. Alright, we'll see what Argentina says. That's not Argentina. Let's see what Venezuela says. Yes, they've accepted their invitation. There we are. Our boys are finally on the front line. Let's help out the Germans. Go, we got Paraguay now as well. I think we can do a little Latvian offensive here and maybe encircle a few guys. Finland has already been knocked out of the war. Are you serious? That is 5 Soviet divisions. The fall of Rome in 1941. Really, Italy? You are seriously collapsing already. Looks like we may have caused some instability in Colombia. The Colombian Socialist Republic has broken free from Colombia, and they are now in a civil war. And the Soviets, in all of their wisdom, have decided to make another enemy in Iran, just as our allies are breaking through, and the Soviet line is very, very thin now. Let's see if we can make it into Leningrad. Yes, there, we have taken Leningrad. We are at the gates of Moscow. Let's get everyone we have in the region assaulting the city. And there, Moscow has fallen, and the Soviets still only 54% towards capitulation. Alright, I'm starting a battle plan. We desperately need war score, so we'll take the casualties, we'll take the equipment loss. Alright, I'm trying a pro move, and that is cut the Soviets off from Stalingrad and the Caucasus. We are running into very little resistance, as you can see. Our mountaineers have finally made it over, so let's see if we can do some pushes down here. And Germany has proclaimed the Greater Germanic Reich. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen them do this. And we have also cut the Soviets off from the rest of their country. My game is frozen, which usually means that, yes, the Soviet Union has capitulated, and we have 15% of the war score, so the first thing we need to do is puppet them. Alright, peace deal done, and we have gained an achievement, the new home of the revolution. We pretty much grabbed all of Siberia, and the Germans took everything west of the Caucasus, so pretty much all the valuable Russian land. He now bows down to us here in Mexico. And now that we have him as a puppet, we can do one world government. So let's do it. One world government. Yeah, Chile has done that stupid focus that makes them declare war on Japan for whatever reason. So our faction is now at war with the Japanese. We have proclaimed the one world government, and the Colombians, yes, they would love to join us. Now, it would be cool if this path could get cores on Russia. Just kind of makes sense, no? Like, Trotsky could return to Russia, and you would have sort of a Mexican and Russian union here, but I guess that is a little too schizo, but Paradox hasn't shied away from doing schizo things before, so, you know, would have been cool. I am getting ready for our conflict here, building up supply. Alright, I just realized this. Chile actually declared on the whole axis, because I'm guessing the tripartite pact, yeah. So, whenever we want to get involved in war with the Germans, we can simply join one of these call to arms. Alright, gentlemen, it is time. Let's accept this call to arms, and there we go. We are now at war with Japan, their whole faction, and the Axis. Let's call in our Russian puppet. And now our Russian puppet is involved as well. The Germans are looking to push us here. And again, we'll do this push and hope we can get all of these Germans cut off. There we go. We have cut off all of these German forces. There, so this is finally mopped up. And let's get everyone back to the main front. We have lost a few tiles, which has cut off supply to this whole area. So yeah, they're actually gonna push us a bit here, which is unfortunate. Just a little update. We have taken 385,000 casualties. However, we have inflicted 2 million casualties to the Germans. I'm trying to push towards their supply hubs and cut off their supply in the region, and then hopefully we won't have to worry about their attacks and we can sort of just sit and recover for a while. There. Thankfully, we're into Ufa. And there, we have successfully pushed into Perm. So now this all should be out of supply. They don't have another supply hub here until all the way over here in Kirov. And a nice little pocket of Germans here in the mountains. And we have completed a huge encirclement here. As soon as we took the supply hub, we just pushed right through. And Mussolini's been deposed? Yeah, good. The UK has a substantial invasion here in northern Italy, so let's hope they can keep that up. And we're threatening to take back Ashgabat and encircle all of these German troops. I don't know why they have so many troops here, but they do. There we go. We have cut this off, and the French government returns to Paris. So that's Vichy France has returned. That's how long we are in this game, that Vichy France now has control over all of France again. The fall of Tokyo just popped up, and yeah, look, a single British invasion of Tokyo has commenced, and an American invasion of Kyushu down here. We have manpower again, we have hope again. Let's hit the button. Well, it seems the Japanese have capitulated, which is very good. I was not paying attention to that at all. As a matter of fact, I was on my phone. Alright, so there we go. We have American Japan now. There we go. We have Moscow back. It is in the rightful hands of Leon Trotsky. The German lines are collapsing now, so it hopefully shouldn't be too much longer, and then we can get a nice peace deal. Yeah, look at that. The Netherlands are huge, so yeah. Alright, as we wait for this war in Europe to come to an end, let's do Operation Just Cause, because, you know, why not? And we start a border war for the Panama Canal with the United States. They aren't going to like us for this. Hopefully we can take it, so let's just hit the button. And it fails. We didn't even get a chance? Maybe it was on the other side. I guess I should have put my divisions on both sides of Panama. I figured it said Panama, so I went to Panama, but everyone just ignore that. Okay, I don't think they're going to ignore that. And yeah, okay, that wasn't very smart because now they don't want to give us steel anymore. Alright, it appears since Italy has capitulated prior and they don't have all their victory points back, it's just Germany that we need to make surrender, so just full-on battle plan everywhere. And I'm also asking, hey, UK, would you like to give us Belize? Alright, I'm hoping this final assault on Metz, Saarbrücken, Karlsruhe, and Stuttgart will be enough. There we go. The Germans are 100% towards capitulation with the capture of Stuttgart. I took 3.3 million casualties, 2 million of which to the Germans. We inflicted 7.5 million. Peace deal is done. Mexican Russia has all of their cores back. And we did end up getting Poland, Austria, and a German puppet as well. Alright, let's see what the British say to purchasing Belize. And they've declined. Okay, my brother. The German Republic just declared war on the Socialist Republic of French Guiana, which is in our faction. They have war goals on me, on everybody. So I might get dragged into war with the entire Allies, because for some reason, yeah, they let them join the Allies after that. How much world tension have they caused? 211%. Yet, as a player, you'll get kicked out if you generate 10% world tension. But no, they'll let them in when they've generated this much. So I guess we'll get the army home, just in case. Alright, here we are. It is August 48 now, and we should be able to annex Russia right now. And there it is. Trotsky has retaken all of Russia. The revolution is back, and we have control of, yeah, all 489 Soviet divisions that they had. Oh my goodness. There we go. That's going to do it for this one. If you liked this video, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. It would mean a lot to me. I got to get ready for work now, so I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.